All right. Welcome back, welcome in. You found us once again, Shoot the Gap, the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Focus Show, here to help you be gruntled with your fantasy football team and your fantasy football decisions. I am your humble host, Brian Amigo Baldwin, and of course, it's an honor to introduce, sitting over, where are you at to me? You over there or you over there? Which way?
I'm on your left.
You're that way?
On your left.
That way?
Other left.
Yeah. Oh, 8 miles that way. That way.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. Okay. So the guy on the left of me. Okay. Connor, the gut marshal. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me back. Ready to give us some start-sit advice, y'all. Let's do this.
Thanks for having me back, dude. You're part of the show. Like, come on,
right?
Dude. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I did create it. It was my idea.
Ah, sure. Yeah, it was. It actually was. Yeah, it is now the 179th show, December 2nd, in this hopeful year of our Lord. And man, great show today. Okay, today is this show is our last minute start-sit advice for week 13. All right, there's some news that we talked about. We're going to talk about, but you know how I like to do it. I like to just go ahead and try to be as concise as possible. So we're just going to hit like the inactives and actives, and then go ahead and jump into the start-sit. So hold on tight, man. We got a lot coming at you. All right, so let's get started. All right, so let's start with some inactives. Some inactives for today, or for tomorrow, I should say, week 13. The Cleveland Browns, they've ruled out Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Yeah, so Joe Flacco will get the start, man. So last time Flacco played was with the Jets in 2022, and while his stats were, that was pretty solid, given the expectations. He had 1,051 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. He also attempted, Connor, 191 passes, and that gave and it gave him like a 5.5 yards per completion. Okay, that's what that did. So who does this benefit? So who do you think?
I think it benefits Kareem Hunt, Njoku, and Elijah Moore.
Okay, explain.
Those are the short yardage situation guys. Elijah Moore has been almost exclusively used for short yardage stuff. Kareem Hunt's a running back. Running backs are used for short yardage stuff. And I have Kareem Hunt, so I'm choosing to live in a world where this benefits him.
So
okay,
are you saying short yardage as far as short yardage rushing or short yardage reception?
Receptions. Like he's like dump off.
I say nay, sir. I say nay. Yes, yeah, through 9 games. Through 9 games, Hunt has averaged 9.9 carries and 31.8 rushing. Last week, he had 0 targets. Week 11, 3 targets. Week 10, 0. Week 9, 1.
Did Joe Flacco play in any of those
games?
Jerome
Ford. Week 12, 7 targets. Week 11, 5 targets. Week 10, 1 target. Week 9, 7 targets. Who's the pass catching, sir?
Looks like Ford. But has Flacco played any of those games?
Of course not, man.
Well, then technically we don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay, it's Schrodinger's offense. Okay, I mean, jeez. Okay, that's what it's saying. So yeah, but I don't think it's going to change Hunt one way or the other. If you are comfortable with playing him and what he's been doing before, then keep playing him. Yeah, keep playing him. Or if you're in a bye week situation, go ahead and play him. But I just wanted to, I just wanted to say that I do agree with you on Njoku. Njoku has been getting, he's been the outlet, and it seems like it's more, I know that the talking heads will say that it's because he's a security blanket or whatever. Dude, at some point it goes from security blanket to like he's part of the offensive attack. Okay, so it's planned to go to that guy, right? I mean, maybe yes, maybe like 3 or 4.
Oh yeah, he is definitely obviously the chief benefactor.
Right,
he's the main guy.
And Amari Cooper, because Garrett Wilson really started to explode last year whenever Flacco was playing. He throws a lot of interceptions, so he does have a lot of turnovers, but he also, bombs away. So that's going to be great for Amari Cooper. So I agree with you on that. I just wanted to clear that one thing. You're very like solid on Kareem Hunt is the pass catching back. So I was like, let me see, and I did some research, and I was like, set a trap and went into it. All right, moving on. Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, it's love. It's all love. New Orleans wide receiver. Oh, yay! I'm number one. Look at that. See, all love. I'm number one. I'm number one. Love. Yes.
That means you're number one.
Yes, and you're pointing up to the sky too. Like you're number one. There. Yeah, look at that.
It's very stoic.
Think so. It's all perception. Yeah, life is all perception, everybody. Yeah, New Orleans wide receiver Rashid Shaheed and running back Kendra Miller are ruled out. Chris Olave is questionable. All he has to do is get clearance from his independent neurologist, which is supposed to happen should happen tomorrow. So I think he's trending towards the right side of. So would you agree to that, Connor? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if but if he's out, then that's going to probably be Derek Carr's playing, so he loves Kamara, so there you go. Houston has ruled out tight end Dalton Schultz, so I think that's good news for the wide receivers. There's one person I'm going to talk about in the actives, Connor. We're not going to dip into it right now, but I want to find out when I talk about the actives if this Dalton Schultz thing is going to change things. Okay. The Patriots ruled out DeMario Douglas. DeMario. He's been ruled out. Yeah. So if you ask where's Mario, DeMario is ruled out. Not going to be there, which is good news. Again, there's nobody to start for the Patriots anyway, other than Ramondre. So there you go. Cardinals have ruled out wide receiver Michael Wilson. Yeah, and Hollywood Brown didn't practice all week, but head coach Jonathan Gannon did say that he's trending in the right direction, but he's listed as questionable. Tight end Trey McBride also had limited practice. He was out Wednesday, limited practice Thursday and Friday due to a groin issue, and he's listed as questionable. So good news for Pittsburgh defense and bad news for Kyler Murray. Yeah, so he's gonna be running for his life, man. Yeah, he is, dude. Yeah, hopefully he'll survive this. Philadelphia, tight end Dallas Goedert is doubtful. Also, I don't know why they do that. I hate that, man. That should be ruled out. The doubtful should be ruled out, or the platform should allow doubtful to go into IR. One of the two things. Yeah. So because it's not doing anything. I mean, it's not helping anybody. It's not like the other side's like, oh, we might need to plan for Dallas Goedert because he might be there. I mean, it's stupid. And the Green Bay Packers have ruled out Aaron Jones, so good news for AJ Dillon manager. Anybody else that you could think of that I might have missed out on the actives?
Say la.
The actives. Devon Achane, big one. Devon Achane's back. He's back. Yeah, so you starting him, Connor?
Hell yeah.
I would not. We will talk about that, but I would not, especially after what happened last time. One of two things, in my opinion, is going to happen, and that is one: either he's going to be used sparingly. They're going to like ease him in because they need him for the playoffs, and they realize how fragile his situation is. And then
they do need him for the playoffs.
Or two. Worst case scenario, he gets re-injured again. Lord willing, that's not. So yeah, and I last time, whenever Devon Achane was coming to play in, I said it last time not to play him. I'm suggesting again not to do that. It's
go with the girl that got you to the dance.
Well, man, the thing is, dude, is that with the first time with Achane, they eased him back in, and then with Wilson, they eased him back in, but then they throw caution to the wind, throw Achane into the mix, he gets injured. So they're probably going to be like, you know what, we should probably ease him back in.
I agree.
Tight end T. Higgins is expected to return on Monday night versus Jags. So that's with Browning throwing the ball. Does that really matter? So does that change things?
I know I'm probably the only one that's going to say this, but I didn't think that Browning looked terrible.
Man,
I'm not starting Higgins, but I still have hope for Mixon putting up these.
I feel like it's interesting because I feel the same way about Tim Boyle. Okay, I don't think Tim Boyle was as bad as everybody's jumping on. And same reason for you with Browning. It was his first game. All these defenses have been playing for over 2 months, so they are solidified. They're solid and pumping. and this guy's getting thrown in. Where 2 or 3 weeks ago he thought that he was just going to be holding a clipboard for and then going on vacation. So it's an interesting shift, to go into that and to be thrown into that fire. So, you're right. You're right, Connor. I do think that's going to be a better outing for both Browning and for Boyle. Definitely not startable, unless you're in a 3 QB league. So a super.
Maybe if it's 18.
Yeah, super flex. Yeah, 18 man. Yeah, there you go.
I would start Taysom Hill ahead of him, probably.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Travis Etienne is expected to play, even though he had a limited practice all week. But still, hold on to Dearness Johnson because you don't know if he's going to last. Okay. Yeah, and this is the one I wanted to talk about. Noah Brown. Noah Brown is questionable. So is Tank Dell. But Tank Dell's already come out and told the media, I'm playing, man. I'm playing. Don't even.
I think he's going to play.
Yeah, Tank Dell is. Noah Brown, let's say if Noah Brown plays, how do you think that's going to affect things? Like, how's it going to affect the wide receivers? And do you think he's, or maybe, and or however you want to put it, is he going to be used more because of Dalton Schultz?
Yes. Yes, it's going to be, look, Tank Dell's the 1, Collins is the 2, Brown's the 3 when he's healthy. When Brown isn't healthy, Woods is the 3.
Interesting. Okay, that was a concern. Like you didn't know if they're going to be switching snaps with Woods and Brown. Even though Brown's produced more, Woods is a captain, so you don't want to bench the team captain. So.
Well, Brown has better hands.
He does, and he's younger. Yeah. So
Stroud needs guys with good hands.
Yeah. Is Brown startable right now?
No, it's wait and see.
There you go. Breece Hall had a full practice on Friday and is listed as questionable. And also questionable is Dalvin Cook because of the shoulder. And the other running back, the rookie, Israel Abandakanda. Yeah. I know, dude, right? Yeah. My last name is Baldwin. Come on. It's so cool. These years after an amplifier. That's cool. Little rock in there. But yeah. So, but it looks like Breece Hall is going to play. I don't. And
I think Dalvin Cook is kind of he is now in the point of his career that Le'Veon Bell was in when he was on the Jets.
Irony. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're old running backs go to dies. The running back junkyard is the Jets. But yeah. So Breece Hall, I think he's going to play. I think he'll be okay. And we'll be we'll be talking about the weather, but I'll tell you now, it's going to be rainy there, but the wind's not going to be bad. Rain usually more for short passing, and we'll actually do with the wind being there. I mean, it's not really going to affect anything. It just makes the ball a little bit more slipperier. What do you think of Robert Saleh coming out and saying like Hall needs to get the dirty yards and stop trying to go for home runs? I mean, what do you think about that?
I think that's kind of a weird thing to say.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, especially you need all the support you can get right. The best news coming out of the Jets is maybe Aaron Rodgers might defy like logic and health and and history, medical history, come back a month earlier than most people do from. But what? Other news: Zach Ertz was cut by the Arizona Cardinals, cleared waivers, so. He's a free agent. Reportedly wants to sign with a contender, but I don't know if a contender wants him. We'll see. And wherever he lands, we'll decide if it's a big deal or not. It is good.
Buffalo.
It is good news for. Oh my God, that'd be terrible. Yeah, it would be good news for Trey McBride, but got that going on. So.
Yeah. Maybe the Texans sign him.
Oh yeah. Oh, maybe the Texans will get him. Yeah, with Schultz out, that's it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be really good. Wow. Okay, we'll see. Well. They should have claimed him on. Well, we'll see. All right, moving on. Seattle head coach Pete Carroll said Friday that Zach Charbonnet's bruised knee puffed up pretty crazy, quote unquote, Thursday night, and so he played 76% of Seattle's snaps. Okay, so then he missed the end of the game due to the knee bruise. But he's gonna have about 10 days to recover. And tests show that he didn't have any major structural damage. So there's a good chance that he'll be ready to play again next week. 'Cause again, 10 days. it's San Francisco. So you saw what happened last time against San Francisco, but you saw what he did with Dallas. So so let me just real quick right there, Connor. Do you think that the San Francisco game was just Charbonnet getting ready and used to be in the starting role, and so there's some hiccups there, and then he got it together in Dallas, or is that just the differences between the defense?
I honestly think it was a difference between the defenses.
All right, yeah. So I just want, because this is what you're thinking. If you're a Charbonnet manager, you're like, hey, well, he really balled out, against Dallas, so maybe he's getting it together. But one more thing on that, Kenneth Walker, his oblique injury. Okay, Pete Carroll, he always talks as positive as possible about injuries, right? And he said that Kenneth Walker's injury is now considered "quote unquote" complex. All right, and so
sorry, Kenneth Walker, but as a CC, as I'm calling him, manager, I'm stoked.
Yeah, what I'm thinking that it was all about what happened on Thursday night. If they would have won, then he'd be on the mend and on the right track. Now that they lost and they're starting to slip, okay, it might be complex. Meaning, like we talked about whenever he first got that injury, that there is a above average chance they just might shut Walker down. Yeah. So if Charbonnet's healthy, all right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's move on to the start sit for Week 13.
Right.
Let's go and talk about that. First of all, want to go ahead and let's mention some weather. Yeah, some weather just real quick, man. Weather's everywhere, dude. It's gonna be a rainy, sometime maybe snowy game in one of them. The Colts and the Titans. There's not going to be any sustained winds. Okay, so it might be a little rainy. No big deal. I wouldn't worry too much about that game. The Chargers and the Patriots. That's a little bit more. The temperature's going to be around 70% chance of rain. But it won't be windy again. Okay, so no sustained winds. So it's going to be so maybe the rain might be heavier. Atlanta and the New York Jets. Okay, it's going to be another rainy game. It's just rainy, miserable in the Northeast up there. Yeah, 90% chance. But wind's going to be in the single digits, so not too much of fantasy impact there. Arizona and the Steelers. All right, so rainy. Same thing, no wind, right? I mean, so you kind of see how things are going here. The Dolphins, same thing, rain, single digits wind. The Panthers, same thing. So there's not really, the only one that I think I saw was who was it? I know that the Kansas City is going to be snowy. Yeah, that there's going to be some snow before the game, but again, no impact from the winds. And then I think it's actually Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's the one where I said light wind. I think I got that mixed up. But I think Pittsburgh is the one where there's like double digit winds. Mid-teens throughout the game. Yeah, so it's the windiest game. Yeah, that's right. That I have my notes a little mixed up.
That is not good for George Pickens.
No, it's not good for it's gonna be rain. So. Yeah,
I might have to make a move.
Or
with that regard.
Remember, Connor, don't make a move that is going to step down. Okay, because you're worried about this. It's an issue. It's an issue. Okay, definitely, but it's the combination of rain and winds, it does affect kickers, wide receivers, quarterbacks, whatever. So yeah. See what you're feeling there, but let's stay focused and let's move on to the start sit. So let's go and start with quarterbacks. Okay, so we have the easy ones. Jalen Hurts, of course. Brock Purdy, Tua, Patrick Mahomes, C.J. Stroud. I think those guys are pretty easy. Easy to.
I'm starting Stroud.
Yes, absolutely. Against Denver? Yes, absolutely. Yes. How you feeling about rank Trevor Lawrence, Russell Wilson, and Justin Herbert? Oh, and I'll throw in Sam Howell because I know you're starting them. So let me see how you feel. Let me see if you can be able to have your
Well, I would put Howell above Wilson.
Okay.
I would do Herbert at 1. Wilson is at 4.
Okay.
Or no, I'm sorry. Okay. So Herbert, probably Trevor Lawrence,
okay.
Then Howell, then Wilson.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would go exactly the same way. Yeah. So Lawrence,
George Pickens or Curtis? Oh no. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Keep going.
No, go ahead.
George Pickens or Curtis Samuel?
I think you're going. So you're.
But I am starting Sam Howell, so it would be the Curtis Samuel Sam Howell stack.
Yes, there is that. There is that to think about. But of course, is it going to be they're going to throw to Jahan Dotson? Are they going to throw to Terry McLaurin? Or are they going to be able to complete a pass? Against the Miami Dolphins, cornerbacks. That's what I was trying to tell you, man. Trying in a nice little way. Look at the matchups too, man. So yeah.
Well, I think that the quarterbacks aren't going to be covering Curtis Samuel.
After last week, I mean, he exploded, dude.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying he probably the Cowboys have good corners too, so it's probably the same thing where they put the good corners on Scary Terry and Jahan and then Curtis.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, go with what your with your namesake, the gut. Go with it, man. How you feel? I think Kyler Murray is I would sit Kyler against Pittsburgh, especially with his weapons down. Jordan Love against the Packers, I'm not too excited about that, but they're going to have to throw to keep up. I mean, how you feeling about that?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes quality is more than quantity, right?
Yeah. I found that out with the Zach Ertz thing, or the Zach Charbonnet thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is that. Jordan Love, I just don't like. I mean, I wouldn't. If you're in a bye week situation, I can understand it. Okay, I get it.
It's going to be a snow game. It just kind of feels like they're going to both run the ball,
but
a fair amount.
Okay. Then let's say if you're the Green Bay Packers, you're like, okay, we're going to run the ball. Go for it. Win the game for us, A.J. Dillon, Quadzilla. Come on, dude. We're going to be down 3 scores, but Quadzilla. Attack that,
Yeah.
So see where I'm coming from on that? Yeah. So they're definitely going to need to throw. So I think Jordan Love would be if you're in a pinch. Yeah, go ahead, but don't expect a lot. 2 QB leagues, for sure. 18 leagues, absolutely. Kenny Pickett is a sit. How do you feel about Baker Mayfield?
Sit.
Yeah, I think so too. But it's against Carolina. But they're probably going to run.
He's not going to need to do that much.
Yeah, they're going to run.
They're not going to need to do that much.
They're going to run. Yeah.
Their defense might score a touchdown. Shit.
Let's see here. Okay, and how are you feeling about Tim Boyle? No. Yeah, we already mentioned. Okay, let's talk about Derek Carr, Gardner Minshew, Jared Goff. How about those guys?
Jared Goff, yes. Gardner Minshew. Other guy, no.
No on Derek Carr?
No.
Okay. You're not wrong about Jared Goff with Marshawn Lattimore going on IR, dude. That really weakened that defense. The passing. So you're not wrong about Jared Goff having maybe a bounce back game, and he's playing in a dome. I know he's not at home, but it's in a dome, so close enough. Gardner Minshew, he did do really well against Tennessee last week, but it's just the way it feels to me. Honor with this game and the way people are where they're talking and how well Zach Moss did last time against Tennessee, that the head coach already said that he's going to get. Well, they said he's going to get all the work. That probably should not be translated into we're going to do nothing but run. But if he has success on the ground, they're probably going to. I could see them run. Yeah. So, and.
That's what I'm saying. I think both teams are going to have more success running than throwing.
And also, I want to make sure and make this one comment because it needs to be mentioned. All right, I need to mention this to everybody that Tennessee, yes, they are beatable in the pass. All right, but it's on the outside wide receivers. They're very tough in the slot. Okay, so I wanted to make sure and tell everybody that because it's real easy to look at Josh Downs and say, "Oh man, Josh Downs, he got 12 targets, and they're playing against a great matchup. He's a must start." Well, no. Two things. First of all, Tennessee's tough against the slot. Number two, he had 12 targets and 5 catches. Okay, I mean, jeez, dude. Yeah, man. I mean, you're not going to be looking at a batter in baseball and say, "Man, he really struck out, but he swung like a bunch of times." Look at him swinging so many times. So yeah, it's just keep everything in focus. This is an extremely important week for everybody. A lot of people, Connor, myself, is win or go home. Or win or be out, go into the consolation.
Win or go home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to say go home because you're filming from your home. I'm filming from my home. So you don't go anywhere, but you're
metaphorically speaking.
Yeah. Okay. I was being pedantic. All right. Okay. So yeah, I think that Gardner Minshew's not a bad start, but I'm with you with the Derek Carr against Detroit. It's a little difficult, but especially with the banged up receivers. But dude, if you're gonna beat Detroit, you're gonna beat Detroit in the air. Okay, you definitely are. Mm-hmm. So let's look at it from that point of view. Let's just don't go poo poo real fast. If Chris Olave's playing, I could see Derek Carr being a sneaky start. I really can, because they're going to need to throw. And so, and he and Olave was having a career day before he got injured. So if he starts, man, I don't think it's all bad. Plus, they still have Kamara and they have Hill. Will Levis, Brees Young, Bailey Zappi. These are all people left on your bench or not on the waiver wire. But I wanted to mention this one name because everybody's excited. He did really well last week. Matthew Stafford tore up. Yeah, the Arizona Cardinal. Man, how are you feeling about Matthew Stafford? How we looking at that situation?
He is a guy I would be more inclined to take a shot on than the last 3 guys he named, for sure.
Yeah. Well, those last 3 should. Yeah, I'm not even sure if they're rosterable. But
they're not.
Yeah. But Matthew Stafford or Jared Goff?
Jared Goff.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's any
higher floor.
Yeah, I mean, well, you were off Derek Carr, so it would not be a thing. Yeah. There's no other comparison. You know what we need to do right now?
So I'll do Sam Howell over Jared Goff. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, we already talked about him up in the higher. I already figured that one out. Yeah, that one I got. Thank you, Lo. Thank you for clearing that up for the people. All right,
he's the worst best quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. He always has that sleepy face, and that just a little nervous. All right, moving on. Let's go to running backs. So the easy starts: Christian McCaffrey, Travis Etienne, Rachaad White. I think he's in a fantastic situation against Carolina. Yeah. I mean, he's a top 3 back, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Derrick Henry, Tony Pollard,
Pacheco.
No, I don't need to talk. Ramondre Stevens. Yeah, Derrick Henry, Ramondre Stevenson, Bijan
Pacheco.
Yeah, yes. Isaiah Pacheco. Yes. Bijan Robinson. Yeah. People, yeah. I think he's going to be the focal point of the offense. To be honest with you, because the Jets, it's going to be raining. Okay, and this is a preview for the defense. I think the Jets are a great defense to play against. Rainy weather and Ritter. That just sounds like a delicious combination. But I think that Bijan's going to have a really good week this week.
If anyone's stupid enough to not figure that out, it's Arthur Smith.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, see, that's the whole thing. Is like, anyway, we'll when we get to the defense. Zach Moss, of course, man, with Taylor on the mend. Zach Moss is startable till he comes back, and even then, we'll get there when we get there. Kyron Williams. Yeah, I mean, he really came out, but how do you think he's going to do against Cleveland?
Great.
He's what?
Great.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm taking your info on the Browns defense and running with it. I have no faith in them to do anything.
Dude,
right now.
I mentioned this on last show, so I could do it now. But dude, Myles Garrett, dude, I mean, he is like DNP, and he's like, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna play until, if my arm's not falling off, I'm gonna be out there. but is that really helpful to the defense? All right, and he's really going to be able to last the whole game. And then you have Denzel Ward banged up. I mean, it's not the same defense that it was, a month ago. And you got to keep that in mind if you're playing for your fantasy playoff life. This is where you have to move, man. The biggest mistakes I've always made was staying stagnant whenever I should be moving at these particular times, because I'm like, well, they got me there, so they'll get me there again. Dude, things changed. That's true. Things haven't changed, but things has changed a lot, especially with Flacco playing. Holy man. A lot of turnovers. I didn't mention Joe Flacco. Is he startable?
No.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm glad I threw that out there. Alvin Kamara, great. Raheem Mostert, I think, is going to do great against a weak Washington defense. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, these are, even though it's against New Orleans, these guys, that I think that the offensive line for the Lions is going to trump the defensive line to the of the Saints. So I think those two are good plays. Austin Eckler, DeAndre Swift, Breece Hall. How you feeling about those guys?
Start.
Oh, okay. Yes. Chargers against New England. Get that. But dude, DeAndre Swift against San Francisco.
Yeah.
All right.
He's the guy.
Okay. Well, San Francisco can be beaten with the pass, but okay. You know what, dude? No, I'm going to say sit him. You want to know why? Something that you and I talked about before we started. The tush push. All right. When you get down to the goal line, they're not going to hand it off anymore to Swift. They're just going to do the tush push. So that's stealing a lot of the goal line, and that's stuff you're going to need against San Francisco. You're going to need those points to look good. To be happy in fantasy. You're going to need those touchdowns.
I got you.
So I would say that if you can move to something else, I know it's bye week. It's really the last apocalypse of the year. So if you're stuck in that, I understand. Najee, Jalen Warren, great starts, and against Arizona. In fact, I would just to let you know about. Not only am I recommending sitting Kyler Murray because of his lack of weapons, but dude, this is just just screaming. Or did I say Kyler Murray? I meant what's his name? Pickett. Yeah, Pickett. Yeah, that I've been saying because of lack of weapons. There we go. Now back on track. It's because of the. I think that they're going to run it. That's what I think they're going to do. And with the weather, that just proves it that they're going to be running it. So Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, Kyron Williams just spanked Arizona, so it looks like it's going to be fantastic for both those guys. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Devin Singletary and Dameon Pierce. Talk to me about what are we doing with each?
I'm starting Singletary, and I'm not starting Pierce at this point.
Yeah, Pierce isn't droppable just yet because there's a slight chance they might be easing him back in because of the injury. But yeah, Devin Singletary against Denver, sign me up. Absolutely. How do you feel about James Conner, man? A.J. Dillon, Javonte Williams, those three. Throw those in there.
A.J. Dillon, yes. Javonte Williams, yes. What was the other guy?
Connor. Ironically, you forgot the.
Yeah, right. I would start all of those guys.
Yeah, I don't know what else. Yeah, it's gonna be rainy. They're gonna be using Connor, Dillon are both, in my opinion, their volume plays. So I'm thinking low RB2, strong flex type numbers you're gonna get from those guys. Not going to win you the week, but not going to lose the week either. Javonte Williams, he's always like a toss. You don't know what you're going to get with that. But he's worth throwing out there, especially in the bye weeks. Okay, let's talk about it, dude. Chuba Hubbard, Brian Robinson, Joe Mixon. Talk about those.
Joe Mixon, I'm still holding out that he's going to be the main man and give us main man type scoreage. Those other guys, though, what were the other two guys' names? You just said?
Brian Robinson Jr. and Chuba Hubbard.
Brian Robinson Jr. and Chuba Hubbard.
Brian Robinson against Miami, Chuba Hubbard against Tampa Bay.
You know what? I will say this. For the remainder of the season, unless I say otherwise, all Panthers players not named Adam Thielen. I'm taking them, putting them this in the imaginary circle, and I'm setting them on fire.
Oh my god!
And I'm letting them burn, and I'm never going to talk about them, touch them, or anything for the rest of the season. They are dead to me, and they're not worth my air. So Adam Thielen, I would start. I'm not going to start any of the running backs. Why would you want a running back in a committee in one of the worst offenses in the league that's tanking?
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's just like, if you're desperate, then sure, but you're in a situation past like advising. You're just playing Russian roulette at that point.
Dude, it's against Tampa Bay. Not good.
Tampa Bay's I disagree. I think Tampa Bay's a good defense.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I said that you.
Oh, you're agreeing with me. Yeah.
It's not a good idea to start Chuba Hubbard against Tampa Bay. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I don't think it's a good idea. Period.
Okay.
What was the third guy's name? Jamal Williams.
Yeah. No, it was it was Brian Robinson.
Brian Robinson Jr.
If you want to mention Jamal Williams,
I mean, No, I don't. He is the guy. If you have him, you're probably going to start him if you don't have anyone better to go to. You've had him this long.
Yeah.
He's kind of mediocre, but he kind of gets it done.
Yeah, but is it going to be Antonio? I think he will passes, but with Antonio Gibson back, that's kind of lowered things down. Maybe Antonio Gibson's like a sleeper pick because they're going to need to pass. And of course Howell is throwing the most passes in the league right now. So, but yeah, I agree with you. It's not somebody you really want to start, but if you have to, we understand. We get you. With Joe Mixon, yeah, but I mean, he's not benchable, but he's just running back 2. Okay, hope for running back 2 number. So solid. You want solid production. That's what you're hoping for. Not home run stuff that you would get with Burrow at the helm, but hopefully solid. Anybody else you want to talk about?
No, I'm good.
What do you think about did we say Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt if you would start them?
I'll start both of those guys.
Okay, especially in this situation. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I was looking. Javonte Williams or Jerome Ford?
Jerome Ford.
Okay. Javonte Williams or Kareem Hunt?
Javonte.
Okay, Javonte or AJ Dillon?
Javonte.
Okay. Moving on. Okay, yeah, so let's move on to the wide receiver. Okay, so let's do that. So the easy ones are, in no particular order, Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, Keenan Allen. I didn't mention him in the news, but he already come out and said that he's playing, so Keenan Allen. He's the only...
Having a great year.
Yeah, well, he's the only guy there. they have nothing else. Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown, of course. Michael Pittman. Of
course.
I think Michael Pittman Jr. is an auto start at this point.
I agree.
Mike Evans, Brandon Ayuk.
He's definitely an auto start.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk against Philadelphia. I think that's going to be a fantastic matchup. Devontae Smith. How are we feeling about? Because, dude, have we had a game where AJ Brown and Devontae Smith have done well, or has it been one or the other?
I don't really pay attention to it too much, but my guess is
that was a trap. It's one or the other. Okay, and last week Devontae Smith went off. AJ Brown, he's squeaky wheel, man. So it's against San Francisco. I really think we're going to see a big AJ Brown game, and it's going to be you're hoping for, or I'm thinking of like strong wide receiver 2 number Devontae. Tank Dell, of course, against Denver. I think, yeah. And I just now got a notice right now saying that Tank Dell is expected to play. So just like in real time, got it. Yeah, so he's good to go. That was perfect timing.
Nice.
Yeah, Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel, Jalen Waddle. I think these guys are ones you're going to be starting. How about this guy? How are we looking at Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk?
Yes, I will refer to the advice I gave last time. You start both of them.
That wasn't good advice about Kirk. because but
it was for Ridley.
Yes, but here's one thing that I forgot.
50% of the time, I'm right.
Well,
every time.
This one thing I was that for some reason, I don't know why it escaped my mind. It wasn't until I saw reality last week, which is when Christian Kirk is good when Zay Jones is out. When Zay Jones is in, Christian Kirk is not good. That the idea about Zay Jones, or Calvin Ridley is good when Zay Jones is playing because he can run different routes. I think that's a misnomer because whenever Calvin Ridley caught his big touchdown passes and big plays, Zay Jones wasn't on the field. Okay, so he has no effect. It's only because now Zay Jones steals from Christian Kirk, so Calvin Ridley gets all the deep stuff and things of that sort. So, and I think they might have figured something out with Calvin Ridley. I think they finally figured out how to use him. So, yeah. So Calvin Ridley, I think, is going to be a good start. If you remove last week against Pittsburgh, every single wide receiver in the previous 3 weeks have scored at least, in our league, at least 20 points. So what would that be? About 15 points in a normal league, Connor?
We're like 10 to 12.
Okay. What is low wide receiver one in most leagues? Like strong?
Strong wide receiver one numbers in a normal scoring format would be between 10. 10 is the floor. If you get any less than 10, you're busting. So 10 to 15. 20 is a great game.
Okay, yeah.
For comparison, DK Metcalf scored 34 points.
Okay, thank you. That's exactly what
this week.
Okay, so he's going to score, in my opinion. Ridley's going to score at least 15. Just because if we're looking at it that way, the way that I researched it, that those wide receivers scored somewhere between 12 to 15 points every week against them. If you take out Pickett throwing the ball, if you put in a good quarterback, a competent quarterback. Chris Olave, if he starts, if he plays, I think you had to put him in there.
Fucking drive-by, bro.
Yeah, what's that?
No, you just did a drive-by on Kenny.
I did? Oh, I did? Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Is it a drive-by if it's obvious? So, yeah. But no, I mean, seriously. Yeah, because he was only throwing to the tight end, because that's the best way to hide a quarterback.
Hey, shh, let him keep doing that. That's a good plan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why, dude, look. This is why I'm telling you about, like, George Pickett, and you're concerned about it. Let me just go and say that since we're in the wide receiver section. Dude, it's quite possible that he throws a short pass to Pickett. Pickett does a move or two. It's in the rain, so he can get some people to slosh, and then he takes off. That is 100% quite possible. Okay, it's not crazy to think that. All right, and so when you're looking at Curtis Samuel, you're like, oh, well, theory. Okay, well, we've seen Pickett do that. Okay, we've seen him do. Yeah, we've seen him like do the whole DJ Moore thing where one quick move, and then he's gone. So and you're talking about the rain. Okay, I mean, so in the matchup. Right. So I mean, you're just trying to help here, man. Okay, moving on. Thielen, Connor, I recommend that he would be a good, at least a strong flex start. Garrett Wilson. How are we looking at Garrett Wilson, man, against Atlanta?
I would start him.
I would too. It feels like this is a game where Atlanta, because everybody's pushing the Atlanta Falcons defense right now. Last time everybody was pushing the Atlanta Falcons defense, it was against Tennessee. And Tennessee, that's when Will Levis exploded. Okay? So it just seems like that might, and they're going to be at home. They've lost like 4 or 5 in a row. Time for them to win one, statistically. The law of averages, it's time for the Jets to win one. The Atlanta had just came back from an emotional win, take over the number one. It just all makes sense. It all makes sense. So I think that Garrett Wilson's is going to be a solid start. Let's see here. The Cortland Sutton, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. How are we looking at those guys?
I think Cortland Sutton is set and forget.
Okay, must start.
I think Puka. Yeah, I would start Puka. I would not start Cooper Kupp. I wouldn't be surprised if they are using Cooper Kupp as a decoy. Yeah.
And then if they lose any more games, he might be heading for a shutdown. Yeah. So so Puka, you're happy with Puka?
Yes.
Okay. And asking for a friend, Puka Nacua or Calvin Ridley?
Calvin Ridley.
Thank you. That's just for a friend, though. You helped out my friend. Yes. Appreciate that. All right. Terry McLaurin, D-Hop, Nico, how are we looking at those guys?
Nico, all the way, all day, every day. D-Hop, that is a very hard, because it's like, you already know, Brian, I love him. Yep. I still have my D-Hop Battle Red Texans jersey. I'm never getting rid of it. I still wear it sometimes. Hey. Yeah, no, never need to get rid of it. Bill O'Brien's the one that fucked that up. D-Hop would have stayed here forever if we got him paid like he should have been. But that's neither here nor there. We would have a Super Bowl with if we still had DeAndre Hopkins, and then we got Stroud. We would win a Super Bowl with that combination.
Like. Okay.
We would.
Okay, that's neither here nor there.
We would.
Okay.
It's neither here nor there.
Like this year, we would.
He doesn't have Stroud this year, but we don't have him. He doesn't have Stroud thrown to him. He has Will Levis. He has this motherfucker who puts mayonnaise in his coffee. That's not what you want for your offense. So I'm not starting it.
Okay, good enough. Terry McLaurin?
Nah. That Commanders wide receiver room is like they take turns.
Yeah.
It's like the Eagles, but worse.
Yeah, I agree with that. Rashee Rice, Jaden Reed, George Pickens.
I'm starting George Pickens because of my bye week issues, but I would not recommend it. If you have better options, I would start Hollywood Brown over George Pickens. I would start...
Hollywood Brown might not play, brother.
I know. I feel more confident in him than I do in George Pickens.
Oh my! I don't. I think you're. I think you're downplaying it. Yeah, because you're seeing the warts. You're not seeing the gold.
There's a lot of warts.
Yeah, but there's also some gold in there, man. Yeah, more gold than there would be with Brown. So I just don't know about if he's gonna play, man. And they're gonna be like, no. Hang on. No. The Steelers. They're in Pittsburgh, aren't they? Yeah, they're in Pittsburgh. So yeah, it's gonna be nasty. Jaden Reed, Rashee Rice, how you feel about those guys?
No.
I would start Rashee Rice with no problem. There was one I think it was Rashee Rice's touchdown play. Dude, MVS was wide open, behind the defense. And Patrick Mahomes chose to throw it to Rashee Rice. Okay, so that just tells you where the trust factor is. And if you have the trust factor of Patrick Mahomes, I'm okay, at least in the flex. I
don't think they're bringing MVS back.
No, I think he's still under contract. But yeah, they're gonna find some way to get rid of him.
I know this probably sounds silly, but they should have got Chase Claypool.
Yeah, well, anything is kind of better. Maybe. Well, anyway, it's neither here nor there. But you might be right. Jerry Jeudy, Curtis Samuel, Jonathan Mingo.
No.
Okay.
I already talked about Panthers players. I'm just going to ignore all Panthers players questions.
Okay, how about Deontay Johnson, dude? Deontay Johnson, you're upset about, worried about Pickett. Same concerns about Deontay?
I'd be less concerned because he is more of a short yardage guy.
Leads the team.
But at the same time, his hands are significantly worse than Pickens.
Okay. He leads it. He leads the wide receivers and targets, so that's one reason.
He also leads the wide receivers in times you've seen him just stand there and watch his team fumble the ball and do nothing about it.
Yeah, well, in all fairness, he probably thought the play was. I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, you're right. Christian Watson against Kansas City. I think he's a dart throw.
I'm starting.
Yeah. Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Drake London.
Amari Cooper, yes. None of those other guys.
Yeah. Drake London, I think, is a bad situation. Yeah, I don't think it's in a good spot. How are we feeling about Romeo Doubs, Jahan Dotson? How are we feeling about those guys?
I mean, at this point, we're not feeling good about any of these guys.
Okay. I don't like Romeo Doubs. He's extremely touchdown dependent. Josh Downs, I've already talked about that. And Jahan Dotson, it's shit stick as far as who's going to get the ball with Sam Howell. He doesn't have a favorite. He's a butter knife, spreads it around. Yeah. There was one. Yeah, Jaden Reed. I didn't want to disagree with you. I think Jaden Reed's starting. I think that he's been a dependable target. So I think that he's somebody that you can use. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to tight ends. Tight ends, yeah, as you know, these things go pretty quick. So if Travis Kelce, you're starting. George Kittle, you're starting. Sam Laporta, you're starting. David Njoku, you're starting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Pat Freiermuth, you're starting.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely a start. They've already said that they want to get him a touchdown. And who did Pat Freiermuth blow up against? Cincinnati. Who are the Jaguars playing? Cincinnati. So 1 and 1 equals 2. How are we feeling about Voldemort, Taysom Hill, and Juwan Johnson?
Voldemort. Juwan. I don't. It's really hard, man, because it's like the Saints have these players that kind of just spot up for a game and then they kind of just go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Hill just because he's a tight end, but he's not. I feel like he's always a good dart throw. I'll be honest, man, I'm not really looking at the tight ends outside of him because he does catch passes. I understand he's not the only tight end they use, but he does catch passes. So I think for fantasy purposes, he's the tight end on the Saints I would use. But I would probably start Cade Otton before I started Juwan Johnson.
Okay, so is Cade Otton a start?
Not if you have Freiermuth or one of these other guys we've talked about. Okay. But he's a start above
Kyle Pitts,
Logan Thomas.
Yeah, Logan Thomas,
Kyle Pitts.
Jonnu Smith?
Yeah.
Tyler Conklin?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I like Tyler Conklin. He's kind of a volume play, for the tight end specific leagues. Yeah. So, it's just my feeling that I think that Tim Boyle isn't as bad as people think they be. Just like you, like how we talked about Jake Browning. How about Hunter Henry, dude? He was doing really good at the beginning of the year, but now they don't have DeMario. Is he going to start being a target?
I don't know. I would say I would want to view the stats comparing Mac Jones to Zappy because they are going to have Zappy in. They did also say that they're going to have a package of plays for Malik. So. Who knows? Maybe Malik throws to the touchdowns. Maybe they get him in the red zone.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then he throws to Hunter Henry. Is Mike Gesicki still healthy? Is he still alive and on the Patriots?
I don't think even Mr. and Mrs. Gesicki know that.
Well, then there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. Any other tight ends that you might want to talk about?
I think it would be cool if the Ravens signed Zach Ertz, but that's it.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a contender. Yeah, I wouldn't be happy about that because I'm a Zay Flowers manager, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, what about the replacement for the Texans?
No.
Tanner Hudson for the Bengals? No. Chiga Conquo?
No.
Okay.
I think Schultz is actually a good tight end. I don't think his talent can be replicated.
Gotcha. All right, let's move on to defenses. Real simple, dude. I'm going to just mention a name. You tell me yes or no in one sentence.
Gotcha.
One sentence. And if you say more than one sentence, I'm going to interrupt you. Okay, so, all right. Miami Dolphins.
Yes.
Okay, say one sentence.
Yes, because turnovers from Sam Howell.
Rams.
Yes, because turnovers.
Yeah. Browns.
Browns?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Yeah.
No. Period.
Right. Sentence? Oh, we already covered it. Yeah.
Because injuries.
Yeah. Steelers?
Yes, because they are good.
Buccaneers.
Yes, because they have a good matchup and they're good.
Okay. Jaguars?
Who do they play?
Cincinnati.
Yes, because it's a good matchup.
Okay. Jets defense.
And who do they play?
Atlanta in the rain.
Yes, because Arthur Smith is the dumbest person to ever coach.
Desmond Ridder in the rain. Love it. Falcons versus the Jets.
No, because Arthur Smith is their coach.
Yeah, I think the Falcons are being overhyped. I might be wrong, and if I do, I'll take it on the chin. But yeah, I think they're being overhyped. How about the Chargers?
Well, hey, Arthur Smith takes it on the chin a lot more than we did.
Chargers versus the Patriots.
Yes, because the Patriots are a dumpster fire, and I love it.
Okay. I'm
their sorrow is my joy.
It just seems to me like the Okay, yeah, yeah, you're right. Just Stevenson, I think is gonna have a good game. Because
just him.
But yeah, you're right. Just because he has a good game doesn't mean that the Chargers defense.
Zappy is gonna throw 112 yards, and Stevenson is gonna catch 100 of them.
Lord willing, that'd be great. How about the Titans versus the Colts?
No,
I mean Gardner Minshew, turnover guy.
He can throw it over them mountains.
Oh. Rico. Okay, I'll go Rico. All right, the Colts, same matchup. Colts against Tennessee.
Yes, because Will Levis puts mayonnaise in his coffee, and I hate him for it.
Lions against the Saints?
No, because the Saints can throw.
Chiefs against Green Bay?
Yes, because I still hate Jordan Love.
Well, it's his play also. 49ers against Philadelphia?
Yes, because they're the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah, I think you trust talent there. I agree with you there. Even if it's a bad matchup, that's great. Broncos against Houston.
No, because H-Town, son!
Well, no. Patrick Surtain can only cover one guy. And they have...
Patrick Surtain can only contain so much, and we got too much.
Yeah, we got three nice wide receivers. Eagles. The Eagles defense against San Francisco.
Yeah, because Purdy ain't all that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's been the darling of the week. Last one, Saints versus Detroit.
No.
Okay.
I don't think they're that good.
Okay. Anything else you want to mention?
Say la.
Okay. All right. Well, then I think that it's time for us to land this plane. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. If you enjoyed the content that we provided, please hit the like and the subscribe button. Yeah, and let us know you're out there loving the show. Click that bell so you get an announcement anytime our shows pop up. You get these last-minute advice. You get any type of sniper episodes when something happens. Shorts. Connor does shorts from time to time. You don't want to miss those. So make sure and click that bell. Also, check out High Volume Music Radio. And they're a fantastic radio station that's started, needs your support. They're a radio station that needs to be supported. So please check them out. And of course, my sports show on that station, Drive Time Sports with Charlie and Brian, every Thursday 4 to 6. Check out Connor's book, You Know Too Much, on the Amazon platform. You'll be happy that you did. All right, Connor, on behalf of me, or on behalf of Connor, the Gut Marshal, and now me, your humble host, Brian the Amigo Baldwin, I want to thank you for watching. Hope that this year is even better year than last. Parting shot, Connor.
Parting shot. I really hope this isn't your parting shot, because I want to piggyback on something that you said earlier in the episode. Okay. And this is my original parting shot. You got to stay water. You can't stay rigid with your guys and be like, oh, these are the guys that got me here, so I'm going to stick with them, because shit changes, So you got to be willing to, stay loose and sub guy, new guys in and new guys out. Like a couple of years ago, championship week, Brian had Justin Jefferson and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And that was before anyone knew who Amon-Ra St. Brown was. And he started Amon-Ra St. Brown over Justin Jefferson. He won his championship because of that. Moves like that will win you your championships.
Actually, man, that did step on my parting shot. Okay. Yeah, my parting shot, though, to put it more succinctly, okay, we didn't talk about this. It just so happened. It's just this time of year. You need reminders on this. But my parting shot, to put it succinctly, was focus on the trends. Don't look at the names. If you have a player that was balling out at the beginning of the season, has started trending down, don't be afraid to start the underperforming player that is starting to heat up. Be brave. All right? Fantasy football rewards the brave. Not the stupid, but the brave. Okay, so then there's a fine line. Okay, so you have to find that. All right, Connor, help me out with the end. last line. Remember, everyone, fantasy football as in life.
Don't dream it.
Yeah. All right. Good luck, everybody.